Hello, I'm going to show you now how to mount a small piece of ephemera or a small artwork, something that isn't heavy and you want to display vertically. Here's a postcard, which is something in the Museum of London's collection. It's actually a billboard that's on display in the lower galleries from Mr. Stanley Green, who used to campaign against eating meat. And I remember seeing him on Oxford Street with this sign. Anyway, to fix it to a piece of board, this board is perhaps larger than you really want, but you can use whatever size of board you like, as long as it's a little bit larger than the postcard. So now I'm going to show you how to mount a postcard or small piece of ephemera or artwork to mount board. And if you're going to be showing the object vertically, it's important that it doesn't weigh very much, because this is only really suitable for lightweight things. So initially you can position the piece by eye in the centre of the board. The board doesn't need to be this big, it only needs to be big enough that it's larger than the object, so that the mount has a little bit of room and that the edges of the piece of the object are protected. So when I've positioned it roughly by eye, I'll weight it using a piece of card to protect the surface, although these weights, this is one supplied in your kit, is very nice and smooth. I think I'll use the smooth side rather than this side, which has an edge. And when it's positioned satisfactorily by eye, you can check with these very nice measuring devices, ruler and set square, provided in your kit. If your board is cut square, you can check that the ruler is positioned absolutely parallel to the sides by lining up one of the green lines with the edge of the board. So you can check that your artwork, if it's square, is lined up parallel with the sides. And then you can check the margins as equal both sides by using the set square against the ruler. So I'm just checking roughly, it's more or less the same each side. If I was really bothered, I'd check very accurately. So having positioned your piece where you want it on the board, you then can take some paper. This lightweight archival paper is provided in your kits, and I just snip off several pieces. Four pieces to make little corners, and the way of making the corner is to fold over at right angles in two directions, and it's good to line up the two pieces on the inside, because that's where you're going to be adding the adhesive strip, and you don't want a big gap in the middle, because otherwise the double-sided adhesive will have contact with the piece of work that you're trying to mount. Here we have the double-sided tape that's in your kit. It is archivals, which is in the sense that it's not going to go yellow over time, but it is very sticky and you don't actually want it on the artwork. And I suggest that you keep it in the fridge when you're not using it. So it's got a little catch there. So you peel it back, and the adhesive is carried on this brown carrier tape. So I'm going to snip off a small bit and stick it onto the back of my corners. So the front of the corners has got the pocket. The back of the corners is where you want to stick your tape. So I'm going to do that for all of them. So you pick up one of the little corners, get the little carrier tape off, and then so that you're able to manoeuvre it underneath the corner, you want to put your knife blade right at just at the very edge of the adhesive patch on the back of the paper corner. Then you position it, you get up the edge of the piece you're mounting and position the corner underneath. Remove the knife, make sure the corner's in position before you drop it down and gently rub it into shape, or rub it to get the adhesive to adhere. And then you carry on with the next corner, or if you want to secure the position first, it might be a good idea to do the opposite corner. So remove the barrier tape, position the knife right at the edge of the adhesive strip, gently lever up the corner, slide the paper corner underneath, rub it to make the adhesive adhere, and then you carry on with the next two. It doesn't matter having a long tail, but if it's a nuisance you can just cut it off. And there you are.